Many times Jacob treated his brother Esau cruelly. He was a thorn in his brother's side. When the time came for them to reunite, Jacob was afraid. But Esau embraced his brother, choosing to forgive the wrongs of the past. Who is your favorite or least favorite supervillain?
Hey guys, who is your favorite or maybe even least favorite superhero villain? I don't know if I necessarily have one. I just think it's interesting to kind of see the play-by-play with the characters as they interact with the villains. So we're talking about villains today. So how does it feel when someone has hurt you? Let me be a little bit more specific. How does it feel when someone close to you hurts you? Maybe that someone is a best friend, maybe a brother or sister. Yeah, does that make it worse? Probably, yeah, the pain is more intense, because this is someone that you love, someone you really care about, and how could they possibly do this thing to you to make you feel bad or to give you some questionable things? Well, I think one of the reasons that people are drawn to the Marvel, movie Captain America: Civil War, is because of that dynamic. Civil War was unique among the Avenger movies because in that movie, there is no really big bad guy. It was all about a fight among the Avengers. Iron Man felt that people with superpowers needed to have more rules because of the responsibility that they had to use them and to use their powers for good. Captain America disagreed with him. He thought they should be completely free, and so what started as a war of words turned into a real world fight, with all the superheroes choosing sides. So Civil War doesn't have a happy ending like most superhero movies. It ends with Iron Man and Captain America fighting each other. Captain America walks away in the end a fugitive while many of his friends are put in jail. Yikes. It leaves people wondering, could the Avengers ever come together again? Can they ever forgive each other? Well, sometimes when we're feeling hurt, we may wonder if we can ever forgive a best friend, a sibling, or even a parent. We may think it's better to never speak to them again, or worse, to get revenge. So that's not God's way, and that's not the way that we need to be able to feel better about things. If we want to heal, if we want to move on from that hurt, we need to forgive. Well, our account today comes from the Bible in book of Genesis. It's about two twin brothers who did not speak to each other for a very long time. So the younger brother, Jacob, had a long tradition of playing tricks on his brother Esau. And one day, when they were younger, he stole the firstborn blessing from Esau by tricking their father. If anyone had a right to hate their brother, Esau surely did. Yeah. Jacob knew this and he was very afraid of Esau. Again, so here is how this family reunion turned out. So the brothers had been estranged for a while and now they're finally coming back together. So Genesis chapter 32, verses 6 through 21, and then we're going to jump over to chapter 33, verses 1 through 4. It says, and the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, we came to your brother Esau, and he is coming to meet you, and there are 400 men with him. Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed. I would be too. He divided the people who were with him, the flocks and the herds and the camels, into two camps, thinking, if Esau comes to one camp and attacks it, then the camp that is left will escape. And Jacob said, O God of my father Abraham and God of my father Isaac, O Lord, who said to me, return to your country and to your kindred, that I may do you good. I am not worthy of the least of all the deeds of steadfast love and of all the faithfulness that you have shown to your servant. For with only my staff I crossed this Jordan, and now I have become two camps. Please deliver me from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him that he may come and attack me, the mothers with their children. But you said, I will surely do you good and make your offspring as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. So he stayed there that night, and from what he had with him, he took a present for his brother Esau 200 female goats and 20 male goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 milking camels and their calves, 40 cows and 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys, and 10 male donkeys. These he handed over to his servants. Each drove by itself, and said to his servants, "Pass on ahead of me and put a space between drove and drove." He instructed the first, "When Esau, my brother, meets you and asks you, 'To whom do you belong? Where are you going? And whose are these ahead of you?' Then you shall say, 'They belong to your servant Jacob. They are a present sent to you, my lord Esau. And moreover, he is behind us." He likewise instructed the second and the third and all who follow the droves. "You shall say the same thing to Esau when you find him. And you shall say, 'Moreover, your servant Jacob is behind us, for he thought, I may appease him with the present that goes ahead of me, and afterward I shall see his face. Perhaps he will accept me.'" So the present passed on ahead of him, and he himself stayed that night in the camp. Okay, so chapter 33, verses 1 through 4 says, "Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau was coming, and 400 men with him. So he divided the children among Leah and Rachel and the two female servants. And he put the servants with their children in front, then Leah with her children, and Rachel and Joseph's last of them. He himself went on before them, bowing himself to the ground 7 times until he came near to his brother. But Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him, and they wept." Whoa. So Jacob had become pretty wealthy in the years that he had been away, and so had Esau. But Esau was always the stronger, tougher man, and when he came to meet Jacob, he brought many tough men with him. 400. That would be really scary. Not a good sign for a happy ending. Nope. So Jacob had to be shocked when his brother ran to him to embrace him. The Bible doesn't tell us why Esau forgave Jacob, but it's clear that after so many years, he knew that forgiveness was better than bitterness. Esau felt relief seeing and forgiving his brother, and he was able to bring relief to his brother too. Our emotions may tell us that silence and revenge are the way to feel better, but Esau's story reminds us that nothing feels as good as letting go of those emotions and forgiving someone. So no one would ever say that Jacob deserved Esau's forgiveness, not even Jacob. He had once traded the blessing he later stole from Esau to his brother for a bowl of soup. Then, when his father was about to die, he disguised himself as Esau to trick their father into actually giving him that blessing. So Jacob is often hailed as a great hero of the faith, and he was a man who loved the Lord. But if anyone ever deserved to be avenged, it was Esau. Remember what avenged means? Esau had what it takes to be a non-avenger, but he didn't get there right away. He wanted to kill Jacob at first, and that forced Jacob to run away. And I'm sure Esau made many evil plans for the day when he saw his brother again. But over time, his heart changed. Yeah, Jacob was mean to him. Jacob took something that he could never get back. But Jacob was Esau's brother, and Esau still loved his brother. If Esau took his brother's life, he'd have no family left. And what example would he have set for his own children? Esau wanted reconciliation so that he, his brother, and their children could have relief from all their bitterness. He knew forgiveness would feel better than any vengeance he could devise. He let go of his hurt and he hugged his brother. Esau is a non-avenger because he forgave his brother. He shows us that it feels better to forgive than to hold a grudge. If you're holding a grudge today, I hope that you will follow Esau's example. Let go of the pain and embrace the relief that can only come through forgiving. Let's be people who bring healing instead of more hurt. Let's be like Esau and learn to find relief in forgiveness. Dear God, forgive us for the times we feel unforgiving.
Ephesians 4:32. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you. Let's make this week's lesson real. When there's a disagreement in the house, remind each other of today's message that forgiveness can help them and the other person feel better.